Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Hey, what's happening, everybody? And welcome to The Way We See It. That's right. It's Tuesday night, April 16th, 2024. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to go over. I can tell you that right now, because everything is starting not to look too gloomy over there in the Middle East. So I'm going to bring the boys on without any further ado. And we will get this show on the road. Welcome in, everybody. And we'll bring my boy Donald out. What's happening, Donnie, baby? What's going on?
Sorry, what's going on, man? How y'all doing? Appreciate you.
All right. Now I got to bring my boy in right now, D. There's my man. There's my man.
Is he gone yet?
No.
Not yet, D. Not yet. He's not gone yet. But I gotta bring him in. I gotta bring him in, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know who I'm talking about. There's only one cat that gets things right here on The Way We See It. You know what I mean? And there's look at him. You'll see. You know what I mean? You can make a decision for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. But here he is. He's going to be coming. That's right, ladies. He's from New Hampshire. He knows New Hampshire had 3 governors, but he only knows 1. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, with the stylish glasses, the way he puts his hair back. There's only one guy that could do that, ladies and gentlemen, and he's got a show for you tonight. And there's only one person that could do it right here on the FFN network, is the one and only. Let's give it up for Mr. B.
Hello, everybody. Yes. All the news coming out tonight, of course. Katie Couric admits that she's now Curious George. And Molly Ringwald has actually come out, and I actually saw this is true. Molly Ringwald, in an interview, has said that her earlier movies from the late 1980s were too white. If you can believe that.
White. Yeah, there
Molly
wasn't
Ringwald
no,
says
what do you mean too white? I don't think there was any black.
I don't know. Maybe she needed a suntan or some damn thing, but she said her movies were too white.
Well, I mean, she's kind of right. She's kind of right. Those movies back then with the Pretty in Pink and all of that. Well, that was definitely for the Cali area and
whatever.
Barbie.
So, but yeah. Anyways, did you watch the Barbie movie, B?
The Bobby movie?
Yeah, did you watch it?
Barbie.
The Barbie movie.
Yeah,
actually, believe it or not, I have seen the Barbie. Did I not say Bobby? Yes.
Did I not say Bobby?
Yeah, it sounds like Bobby, like B-O-B-B-Y.
You say Bobby, I said Barbie. I said, when you say things like that, how about Klaus von Barbie?
I got to put R in it a little bit more. But hey, it's good to see you guys, man. You know what I mean? So, hey, is everybody ready to rock this? Because there's a lot of crazy shit going on. So what I'd like to start with today is B, wasn't you going on in in the chats with the boys about the protest and blocking bridges and Palestine? I mean, this is a big deal.
I called it right.
This is a big deal for you, Mr. B, right? This is this is something that really troubles you. You know, so let's hear it. But
The
let's hear it.
protests that are going on around you, you have to admit that I called it right. I come out and I told you guys, remember, I said they were going to do something in San Francisco. It was going to happen. And sure enough, these people with these protests and marches, and I still believe that they are just doing precursors. They're testing, doing dry runs to get a whole bunch of people in an area where they can't go anywhere and then wholesale slaughter the shit out of them. They got these people going across the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. They got out in the middle of the bridge. They stopped vehicles, and they put their hands through vehicles, and they locked hands with chains inside of PVC pipe tubes, so that they could not be easily freed or removed or whatever, and tied up the bridge for hours. Nobody could go nor one side or the other in the direction anywhere.
And from what I understand, that San Francisco, they didn't make them move. They
No,
didn't stay right
did not.
there.
And they also did
No.
crazy stupid shit. At the same time, in New York City, they did it in Chicago,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they tried to do it down in I believe it was in Washington D.C., but they didn't get too far.
Right. Well, we got a little tidbit for the audience, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. Let's take a listen.
Rob, Chicago police said they arrested more than 50 people today between protests downtown and near O'Hare this morning. Demonstrators say their demonstrations were meant to elevate the plight of the Palestinian people, but that message was at least in part muffled by multiple physical face-offs with police.
Chants for Palestinian liberation echoed through the loop.
What is it that drives you out here into the streets today?
Injustice. Injustice all over the world. Everybody deserves to be free.
As a
Go
large
back
group
home.
carved a flag-led course through city streets, police cut them off at the pass, blocking protesters in along Adams.
It's terrible the way the cops are blocking us off from marching. We haven't had this issue before. We're out here every weekend. This is the first time they've reacted like this.
Passionate.
You know, I'd like someone to go up to that idiot kid, all right, and ask him, what's this all about? You know what I mean? You think he would have the proper answers, guys?
No.
No.
There is no proper answer when you're talking about emotions and feelings. I don't see how you could say a proper answer.
For what emotion? What emotion?
Well, they're marching for something they believe in.
I think that a kid like
One
that.
at a time.
I think that kid like that right there, that's in college and all his fucking bullshit, is being hand fed all of this bullshit to him, and he clearly has no idea, and he's just fucking going along with his friends and everybody else. That's my opinion.
Right. Okay.
So that's why I brought that up.
And he smokes plastic.
Well, he could. Who knows? He didn't look like he smoked plastic.
No, I'd rip that fucking earring out of his fucking ear. I'm sorry.
Oh, we're in a tough mood tonight. We're in a tough mood tonight.
No, just like Mr. Beast, talked about it. About shit happening in San Francisco and in Chicago. I haven't been going around the bush. These protests, what you see is what possibly could turn out to be a big riot. Radical Muslims and Anglo-Christian regular folks cannot be together. They just can't. They can't. And we're seeing this already. We're already seeing this. This one clown, and I think I gave you the video. I'll check, Blaze. This one clown's like, it's not Joe. It's the system that must go. Who the fuck are they? Who are they? Please, somebody help me. I'm lost.
I don't know.
The next step in their agenda. What makes you? Why do you have to ask this question? I shouldn't have to be educating you. You already know this.
I just want somebody to help me to broadcast this out, man. Because obviously a lot of people are not listening. They're just looking.
Right.
They're not paying attention. They don't understand what they're seeing. It is the next logical step in their agenda. They're trying to push us out of being a federal republic, a free country, a free world, free nation.
Well, I don't know.
Go ahead, boys. Go ahead.
That's a tough statement. You know what I mean? I'm going with what Mr. D was just saying is where we don't understand their culture, and we're not gonna unless some of us, I don't know, 300,000 or whatever. You know what I mean? We don't our intention is not to move there purposely. Anybody in America.
We don't need to understand their
Wait,
culture
wait,
because
wait,
we're
why
here and we are not their culture. They come here,
Listen,
they have to come to our culture.
we don't
We
have a
go to
culture.
theirs.
This is the United States of America, man. We got more. Oh, Jesus, Blaze, talk tonight. We got more people that are here from other countries. This country was founded and built from people from other countries. Okay, so to say something like that is just like crazy. Okay, again, I'm trying to stay with what Mr. D had to say. You know, and we're not going to understand their culture. We're not going to understand these people the way they live. Donald?
Okay, so that understanding the culture doesn't mean you can't live with somebody. I think too much of that intertwined. Hold on, wait, stop.
Go ahead.
I gotta go with what Mr. B's saying too. Understand, when you go to another country, you have to adapt to their norms, their values in society. You have to become a part of their society or they exile you. It's the same shit in the United States. It's not something mean or you're just being discriminatory or none of that other bullshit that everybody wants to claim. That's just the way life goes. That's the way it is. Adapt, become here, obey the law, and you'll probably be okay. When you come here expecting things to change and make it easier for you, that's when no, you need to go back to where you came from then. So right. You gotta agree with them. This stuff right here over the weekend, they are precursors. That's a step in this training. It's just one more step. All right, this is what they do. Next time, maybe we'll do it over a holiday weekend and see what we can get. But next time we'll have a couple of suicide bombers in there.
Right. That part I agree with Mr. B. Absolutely. You know what I mean? He's like, they're allowing all of these protesters to do whatever. And Jesus, Donnie, I know you lived with these people for a while. You know what I mean? So you understand a little bit more on how their mind thinks. And I kind of agree with B when it comes to where, there wouldn't be no problem if they got somebody here that's willing to go to Allah and get his 72 versions, and they get them here, and it's only got to be one fucking person, okay, that's going to mingle in with that crowd of protesters, and then there's a couple of C4s are going off, you know what I mean, and there's going to be a problems. So if anybody doesn't have anything to add, we'll finish up this video.
Calls for freedom devolved into chaos. Police clashed with protesters. Punches were thrown as the crowd shoved and wrestled in the streets. Commuter traffic screeched to a halt along Wacker, first for prayers, and as demonstrators refused to cede the intersection at rush hour. Officers seized their speakers and another round of physical scuffles ensued. This was just one small piece of an international day of action for Gaza.
Our families are dying. Our people are dying. Our families have been displaced multiple times.
Demonstrators blockaded westbound I-190 this morning, halting airport traffic and forcing passengers to walk with their suitcases along the interstate to catch Monday morning flights. In San Francisco, a group barricaded off the Golden Gate.
Go ahead, D. Yep, people had to get out of their cars. If they got a ride, they had to get out of their cars to walk to the airport to go to their destination, because this is a liberal San Francisco.
I got a dumb question to ask. Did they try that in the great state of Florida?
No, I haven't heard any news about protesting like this in Florida. No.
Why? DeSantis will lock them up and put them in
Same
jail.
with Texas, right?
No.
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 Florida. No, let me finish, man. You're not the only one educated here. when the BLM riots came out, DeSantis took that to the Florida Congress, and they got that passed. And you can't be impeding people's way of lives. Go, B.
I believe the people down in Florida and probably Texas too, if they tried this shit there, the people in Florida or Texas would put their cars, the ones right behind them, into high gear and stuff them out of the way and open up the roadway. They will not tolerate this shit. They will not allow it to happen.
Donnie?
It depends on where you're at. There are parts of Dallas and there are parts of San Antonio where they had their little protests over this stuff. They have them all the time. But the only difference is there's a clearly drawn line of act stupid, get stupid, you get dealt with in public stupid, and you go in the jail cell. So everybody knows their limit a little bit better, I think. Most of those places are the liberal sanctuary city type shit where, oh, we can't pass no law against nobody. Well, this is what happens. So when you want your lawless city or you want to go back, you better be ready to enforce the law and better be ready to stick to it.
Right.
Prison industry looking about to pick up business. I'm just saying.
Right. I agree.
We have a comment.
Go ahead, D. Go ahead, D.
Oh, B.
No, so we have a comment that came in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are we gonna read
okay,
it?
Give me a second.
Got it. Ted Babcock said Florida is locking them up. Now, here's another thing that we need to take from all this right now, because there is legislation going through some states where they're gonna give you the right to say this protest. It got violent in New York and Chicago. Well, okay, I got hurt. I can sue the organizer of the protest or a rally. They can sue you for damages now. Or
but that's what
listen.
Go
they
ahead.
Can sue you, and this is how they slowly take away your ability to defend yourself or voice your opinion. Because now, if I have a law that says because some jackass does something stupid and hits somebody at a rally or an event I organize, I'm going to be sued. I ain't putting on events. You know what I mean? They're just slowly restricting you in what you can or cannot do. But
right. Point well taken. Anybody else, anything to add? We'll finish this up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll finish this video.
No, I need to say
We'll say it. Doesn't have to be quick. What's on your mind? This is what we do. This is the way we see it, brother. Go.
The way I see it and what I've known in the past, a lot of great Americans went over there. They left their blood and their land and their soil. But a lot of them came back home. And for them to see this, I mean, I only had one deployment to that godforsaken place. We had other guys that 5, 8, 12, especially operators from SOCOM. I know this irks them. I know it does. And that's all I got.
You got it, buddy.
Thanks,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's finish this up.
A bridge, all of it meant to send a very clear and specific message on the day tax payments are due.
We will not stop until there is a permanent unconditional ceasefire, until the United States halts military funding.
Give the
to
hostages
Israel.
back. Fuck you.
Tonight, some of those protesters are still waiting here outside this police station in the South Loop, waiting for people who were arrested earlier tonight to be released. And as you just heard from some of those demonstrators, this is something they have consistently done for the last 6 months, and they continue to do until they see some change they'd like to see in the Middle East.
Okay, boys. D, I don't mean to control you. I don't mean to put you on the spot, brother, but you did say fuck you, so you got to tell us. I mean, is this you know, I get it. I didn't think that my panel, some of my panel, Donnie's always reasonable. He's has been since day one on this show, ladies and gentlemen. With you know, you guys being as worked up isn't the word, but a little bit pissed off on the situation at hand. And
Yeah,
I
oh yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree. And Donnie, I'm sorry, I really don't mean to put you on the spot, man. But you was, how long was it country for you? 3 years?
No, I did about almost 5 years or something like that.
Okay, Donnie,
But
you
anyway,
listen to me, Donnie.
so
Please listen. Okay.
He doesn't like.
No,
he
no, no,
doesn't
no,
like
no.
to get
I know
stroked.
that. I'm not trying to do that to him.
trying to
I
go
just
back
want
to the video.
something like what B said, Donnie. Okay. And being with these people and stuff. And what B said, do you think it's possible they could put somebody in that crowd?
Of course they can. It's too easy to put
I'm
somebody
trying
in
to
the
get people to understand these people why D says that we'll never understand them.
because you're looking in the
No.
wrong fucking areas in the first place. You're categorizing Muslim people into one big fucking lump, which it's not. It's extremists, right? From different groups, no different than the extremists you had during the daggum when the Catholic regime was over there, the Crusades or whatever they call that shit.
Yes.
Right?
The
All that
Crusade,
was,
yes.
there's an extreme group that thinks their way is the only way. That's the only way they want to live. That's all it is. So you're looking in the wrong areas.
Right.
First of all,
Did everybody get that? Because that's all I wanted from you, Donnie. That's exactly it. That's what I wanted.
Well, please, here's the thing. That girl's like, oh, we're not going to stop until the U.S. does this and that. You ain't doing shit. That's the definition of insanity right there. Doing the same shit over and over again, expecting different results. The U.S. isn't going to stop. And as much as you guys, if you're gonna get pissed off right now, Joe Biden made the right move by saying we'll defend you, but we will not attack Iran. Joe Biden did the right move right there.
What you talking about, Will?
Okay, I don't know what all that was.
News.
Can I counter Donnie?
Go ahead, D.
He did the
Go ahead, baby, get it together. Get it together.
Was it a strategic move he made on behalf of this country, or was it a political move he made? Because Michigan, large Muslim population, very large Muslim population. Look at the representatives; they're trying to represent them in the great halls of Congress.
Yes, that's both. To answer your question, it's both. It's strategic and political.
And I'd like to add some. I think if Trump was in office, I think he would have called the same move too.
Oh, bullshit. Bullshit.
No, Trump's not a fighter. Trump is not a fighter. We've seen that. I mean, Trump is a businessman.
Trump's not a fighter. I've never heard I never heard a president talk about our military as much as this guy has.
Should I remind you of that fella he blew apart over there when he was still president? He was like the second or third in command of the whatever.
Yes. In Iraq.
Yeah.
Roger.
Yeah.
He killed him. He killed him with a drone.
And he ordered plenty of other drone and other type of attacks and hits as well as necessary. To say that he's not a fighter is categorically incorrect.
He retaliates.
That's the way you see it, man.
He retaliated.
He's not a bully.
No, he's not a bully. He flaunts his military like a good poker player would do, but not show him the hand. That Trump is not in the business of going to war. He's in the business of economy. I think that's Trump's number one thing is the economy. And then after that, he's a law and order guy.
Hey, D, excuse me, guys. Go ahead, D. No, it's fine. I just want I'll let you finish. It has nothing to do with the conversation at hand. Well, go ahead. No, you're good. All right. Can you just do me a favor? Can you not bang on your desk, like slap your leg or something? Because when you bang it, goes right.
Well,
You can hear big bang sound.
I
I understand.
I'm
I know.
frustrated.
That's why I
I'm
said if it's all right,
frustrated.
if you could bang something else. Go ahead. I ain't interrupting nobody, Donnie.
You did.
Okay,
Sure
it's
as
kind of
hell
my
did.
job. It's kind of my
Jesus
job to
Christ.
interrupt. It's kind of my
Anyway.
job to interrupt,
Anyway.
Donnie. Go ahead, say
Anyway.
what you're saying.
Go
Go.
smoke.
Anyway.
Go smoke your plastic.
Anyways, what is it?
Oh, that is not
Crack.
Think about Iran right now. Think about it.
No, but go ahead.
What do we have to gain
Yes.
by going to war? What do we
I
have?
don't want to go to war, but we're going to get pulled into one if fucking Israel is going to retaliate. Israel is going to retaliate.
Okay,
I
and
told
they're
you.
going to retaliate.
I told you guys, I don't know, about maybe 4 shows back, we talked about it, and I told you guys, and you totally all disagreed with me until you looked it up, and I was right, you was wrong. And I said, Israel don't ask anybody for permission to do shit, okay? Just like when they sent their F-16 jets over to Iraq and fucking destroyed Saddam's nuclear facility he was starting to build. You know what I mean? So go B.
We have now seen what their capabilities are. 350 drones lit up. Some of them didn't even launch properly. Out of all of that, they took some doing, but out of over 300 plus drones that were fired, 7 actually made contact somewhere in the country they were pointed at.
Okay, B.
So if the United States will be going to war, what they should do, and what I believe should be done, is they should just take 1,000 freaking drones and cruise missiles and whatever else, fire them at all the locations where they know where these things are, pound them back into the sand they came from, and end their capability of launching more of these attacks.
See, now that's the way fucking Donald Trump would come out in front of like fucking, 50 million people on TV and talk just like that. Okay. You can't do that though.
Why not?
Because you can't. B, you just fucking can't. I mean, are you ready to send young boys and fucking girls to war?
Do you put a bandage over a wound, or you?
Oh, come on, B.
Do you wait
B,
until it's disinfected?
B, this isn't talking to your grandson. Oh, rub some dirt off it, Johnny. You know what I mean? This is fucking war, man. This is death, war. You know what I mean? So you don't wish that on fucking anybody. I wouldn't. I mean, I don't care who it's gonna be. But go ahead, Donnie.
So that's somebody remind me. But last time I checked, it takes congressional approval to declare war.
Correct.
And the president has to go and provide the evidence needed. So here we are again. There's not enough evidence to go. Here's another thing that maybe is a good aspect that nobody wants to look at. But if I'm Israel, I'm damn sure doing this because Big Brother U.S. is going to say they're going to protect me. So guess what? That 50% I had in 50 offense, I'm more 75% offense, 25% defense now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take advantage of this shit, and I'm be strategic, and all that shit that Hezbollah has up in Lebanon or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm going after that
little
shit
bullshit.
too.
Yeah,
I'm getting after that shit too. I'm gonna make a point. I'm gonna take out your capabilities to do this now, but it's clearly Iran doesn't have enough equipment that's reliable and sturdy and at least functioning to actually do some damage. So just let it go. Brush it off.
I mean, we could probably send an F-17 in there in fucking daylight. You know what I mean? Because their radar is primitive. But what I wanted to say to B is like, B, if you're attacking your foe, do you show your I got you guys, I got you. Do you show your best capabilities at first, or do you fucking launch off the junk that you fucking have?
You do whatever you have to absolutely minimize the risk of putting all of your people in
But
harm's
I'm not
way.
talking about. I'm not
That's
talking
what you
about.
do.
But I'm not talking about the United States military. B. I'm talking about your conversation about Iran and them shooting. In other words, you were saying that look at what Iran shot off. Oh, it's a bunch of junk. It didn't do nothing. Whatever. Yeah. And my reply to you was would you show your hand first? B, would you show your best capabilities first? Or like we're talking about right now, we're saying, oh, fucking Iran's radar is garbage or whatever. Oh, and look at what they shot off. This is a joke. But, maybe they do have a pretty good sophisticated fucking AAA type of system there, and that could take down some fucking F-16s coming in. I don't know. But all I'm saying is I'm not going to show off all my capabilities in the front. Anybody? We got to take a break.
Look at what happened.
Go ahead. I'm going to give it to you, B. You're going to get 30 seconds. I'm going to give it to you. Go ahead.
Look at what happened and how they took and launched all of these missiles and so forth and whatever else.
I got you, D.
They acted like terrorists that they are.
Okay.
That's what they did. And that's
it.
their mentality. So that's how you fight them.
D, go. 30 seconds.
No, I'm going on break.
You're going on break?
I don't know how many fucking times I got to put it in here. Fucking talk.
How many times? 1, 2. Hey, bro, I can't talk. Look, and there's a lot of stuff to do. I apologize. You know what I mean? Go take a breath, full walk. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back in about 3 minutes. Stick around for more of The Way You See It right here on the FFN network.
You have just watched an FFN Network production.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Hey, hey, how's everybody doing? All right, we got Jesus. For me, it seems like it seems like is it slow? Is it going slow? Does it seem like the show's going slow, or
No.
do you think it's like normal? I don't know. It could be me. How do you say it, D? I must have smoked some plastic or some shit like that. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's taking forever for me. But yeah. So we are all over this, and we knew it was going to take up a good majority of the show tonight. And I'd like to apologize to Mr. D, man. We have a policy over here because we have a private section for private chats, and that's how we discuss things that are going on as the show is being brought to you folks there. And then we have a thing where if you want to speak next, it's my job to keep an eye on that. And I kind of blew off Mr. D. He had 3 H's up there, so I could understand why he was a little upset with me. So I apologize to my buddy again. Yeah, I did already. So Donnie, why do you gotta be a fucking Debbie Downer?
I want to fucking hammer this.
I hope you don't teach your children that, Donnie, to be unsentimental, bro.
Why are you interrupting him again?
Who am I interrupting? I'm talking. I hear a voice trying to talk over me, but I'm not interrupting nobody. But anyways, let's get back to this, man. Oh shit, I'm never touching plastic again. All right, let's see here. All right, let's get into this since we've been talking about it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to throw up a little bit of video, give everybody an idea of what's kind of going on with some cool illustrations and all of that stuff like that. So don't go nowhere. Stick around. You're going to want to watch this. It's pretty cool. Right now.
Last night, the Middle East's power balance was turned upside down by a series of events that impacted the region's future. Iran launched a direct attack on Israel for the first time in history, escalating the regional security threat. While Middle Eastern countries closed their airspace to Iran and Israel, several countries, particularly in the Western world, canceled flights to these two countries and advised their citizens to flee. Iran launched more than 350 kamikaze drones and ballistic missiles in a retaliatory attack that it had been planning since early April. In total, the Iranian military fired about 300 air targets into Israeli territory, including 170 drones, 30 cruise missiles, and 120 ballistic missiles. Israeli and partner air defense systems shot down 99% of these air targets. Iranian attacks have also had a significant impact on traffic at Israeli civilian airbases. Israeli military authorities said that the airspace over Ben Gurion Airport would be blocked from 12:30 p.m. on Sunday until an undefined time, resulting in multiple flight cancellations. Fortunately, flights at Israel's Ben Gurion Airport restarted around 7:30 a.m. According to officials, the United States, Britain, Jordan, and France helped halt a huge Iranian drone and missile attack on Israel yesterday night. While the United States, Britain, and France are Israel's military partners, Jordan, a severe critic of Israel's fight against Hamas in Gaza, has now endorsed Israel. The intervention of Jordanian, Egyptian, and French.
Yeah, that's what blew my mind right there, guys. Is the Jordanians, you know what I mean, firing missiles, but I guess they say now that, they only fired those missiles because, it looked like some of those missiles were going towards their territory or whatever. Do you buy it? Because now they were denouncing Israel before with the attacks and all that stuff like that. Now, excuse me, they're for Israel. Anybody?
Demas.
Nope. I ain't got
okay.
Nothing.
All right. So we're going to continue with the video.
French air forces in Iran's attack on Israel is very important. The Pentagon said that its forces destroyed hundreds of missiles and drones launched at Israel from Iran, Iraq, Syria, and Yemen before they entered Israeli airspace. U.S. military forces operating from clandestine sites in the region downed several Iranian drones in Sweda and Daraa provinces in southern Syria, near the Jordanian border, according to security sources. Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, an IDF spokesman, acknowledged this morning that France is also contributing to Israel's defense. However, he stated that he did not have specific information on whether French jets had shot down any of the Iranian missiles. Hagari stated that France possesses advanced technology, including jets and radar, and that they contribute to airspace patrol. In addition to U.S. collaboration with Israel, French officials have expressed their support for Israel in one of the most outspoken replies to Iran's airstrikes. French Foreign Minister Stéphane Séjourné slammed Iran's drone assaults on Israel as a new level of security concern. Stéphane Séjourné also reaffirmed France's commitment to Israel's security, claiming that by committing this unprecedented act, Iran has reached a new level of instability and risks escalating military tensions. Meanwhile, two regional security sources reported that Jordan's Air Force intercepted and fired down dozens of Iranian drones on their way to Israel. Jordan has often denounced Israel during the conflict with Hamas and asked that it cease operations in Gaza. But Friday night, Jordan supported Israel against an Iranian strike, tipping the regional balance. This morning, Jordan's cabinet said that it had intercepted certain flying objects entering its airspace to guarantee the safety of its inhabitants. Several pieces of shrapnel fell in various locations at this time, but no severe damage or injuries to civilians were reported.
So, there you have it. As far as that was a pretty good illustration of pretty much what's going on. Anybody want to begin? Anybody want to start? No, everybody's afraid to talk. All right, go ahead, B.
No, we start talking and you interrupt us. That's why.
Oh, okay. Let's be 12. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for this, ladies and gentlemen. Something that could be figured out later on after the show because I missed his H, didn't get to talk. But you have a request from Ann Hartford, okay? And I would love to hear what Mr. D has to say about the last segment and this one. So you're up, bud. You have a request.
Are you going to shut the fuck up?
Sure.
Or are you going to let me talk?
I will give you the
up?
clear half hour to explain the last segment and this one. Go ahead.
All right. So let's start it off from free materials. The only comment I wanted to make when Mr. B was finished talking, and you covered it on this video, was Jordan and Qatar and also Saudi Arabia helped defend that attack. Now, we have to understand, and all of us here are thinking, a kinetic energy attack. No, there's other ways Israel can attack Iran. And that would be electronically or in the water or some sort. It doesn't have to be blowing up shit to be a retaliation. And that's all I wanted to say. And I appreciate that.
B, you want to go ahead and rebuttal that?
No, I would support what you have to say, D. Absolutely. They don't have to blow up shit to make an attack, but
well, that was
I think the best way to stop you, if you've got something like a dog making noise with something, what do? You take it away from the dog. What do you do with these things? You take the bombs away from the terrorists. Why? You blow them up on their own land. That way, none of your own people get hurt. You're not putting boots on the ground, and you're stopping other people in other countries from getting hurt who are friends of yours as well.
Donnie?
That sounds like a great theory, and if you could do it without hurting a single child or civilian casualty or something else, then go ahead. Go for it. But you're not going to get that because you can clearly see from what's going on in Israel where they're going to build their networks at, where they build them at, under schools, under hospitals, all that other shit that we are not going to attack because we have a sense of responsibility with Geneva Convention laws and shit like that, treaties and other shit, right? So you clearly just can't go in there. You got to do like Israel's doing now and just basically flood them out. Part B to that is the bombs are so easy to make now. I just need a couple of cell phones and a few pounds of C4 and, you know, some smart soldering, and hey, there you go. You got a bomb, right? Doesn't take that much, so it's cheap to build. When it's cheap to build, it's easy to make, and it floods the market. You can shut down one little bomb-making house, 2 more coming up next week over around the corner. Just like they did when their so-called war on drugs. They want to get rid of all the crack houses. What happened? 2 more went up down the street, around the corner. Didn't do shit. So that's what I think about
analogy. That was good. What did I have up there? Let me see. Got another one here we can go with. Go ahead, D.
I just I want to tug at some heartstrings here. First generation American. That means my parents were migrants. They came to this country. They respected, they loved it, and all that. Me myself went to the military, so all well and good. What kills me with these protesters? One, BLM showed them the way, and they're also getting funded by George Soros to strategically be at these places. But what kills me is that I went to their land, and it's a godforsaken place to be in. And you come over here and you start all this shit. And I just want to say, I'm on Israel's side. And I'll say it again. And I'll put that up as my nameplate. I'm on Israel's side. I want them to cancel me as a Christian. I really do.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with Israel
Blaze,
as well.
Blaze,
I'm with you.
No, but
yes.
No, but Blaze, hold up. You know, us, the generation is getting smarter. Kids are a lot smarter than what we were. I mean, it's evolution, man. You know, all the way from an ape to a man, and we're just getting smarter. And these migrants that are coming over, starting all this mess and shit. You don't think they see these protests? You don't think they see it? You don't think they're getting educated? Lead by example, Donnie. That's how he always told me, brother. And this is scary, B. Help me out.
I think what you're getting at
with.
I think what you're getting at, Demas, is the example that this younger generations are seeing is, let me go protest and tear shit up, and then I get my way. Let me go through and tear shit up and then make a scene, and I eventually get my way. No, that's not the example we need. Your protests aren't helping anything. And everybody, yeah, you can cry and you can say all you want about a ceasefire, but that's not happening. So stop chirping about it. Find another way. You're just beating your head into a fucking wall. The shit ain't going to cease until Israel decides that they're done with everything that they want to do. And the more Iran and they use their proxies to go out that way, the more ass whippings Israel's looking to hand out, man. I'm sorry. And with some of the other, on the fence nations jumping on and saying Iran's, fumbling the football and messing the area up, that's bad for Iran because sanctions start coming. And more countries agree to have more sanctions. So that's bad for their people. That's more civil unrest within Iran. And what did they do right now? They cause disruption. That's what they do down there with Hamas or whatever in Yemen, right? Just disrupting global traffic. So all they want to do is disrupt and keep a name up.
There's one other thing that these people, everybody seems to be learning, and they are learning it because they're living it. There's no accountability anymore. Oh. Nobody's held accountable for any bad behavior or bad acts that they've caused or done or harm that they've done. It's not. It's not happening anymore.
Right, because
But the accountability set is supposed to be started at the top. And what do I do as a U.S. citizen looking at my commander in chief, and he's got a son that's a crackhead that missed a federal gun charge and didn't spend a day in jail, and here I got a fucking stupid ass 18-year-old nephew that's serving time for falsifying permit. The same thing Biden did. You got to set the standard, and the standard is hard sometimes.
yeah,
But let's get back to the basics, the bottom basics. Go ahead, Donnie.
well,
You
you
look
want
fired up.
basics, but that means, well, the judiciary part of the, the three, pillars of the law or whatever the society, the executive branch, the judicial branch, one enforces the law, one makes the law, one creates, or one adjudicates the law, right? So you gotta free up and clear up the shit in DC with the Congress people to make the verbiage, because the people that are supposed to enforce the law are having a hard time enforcing it, and the people that are supposed to adjudicate the law, the judges, well, they're getting influenced by politics and other stuff, and the way you got it worded lets them get away with shit. So if you want cleaned up from the basics, you got to start in DC, brother.
D.
Yeah, you're right. And they're like fucking kids up there. They spend 10 to 12 hours on the hill. Out of that 10 to 12 hours, I want to bet a good 7 to 6. They're doing day trades. They're nothing but a bunch of stockbrokers up there in Congress, man. How the hell can you become a $6 million figure person, and I'm talking about AOAC, in the period of 4 years, just making $160,000 a year or 175? How does that happen? I need to know. I need to invest in that. Oh, I'm not privileged.
Well, you got to ask how much she gets for every time she opens her mouth at some public or some gala event or whatever. She probably makes 10 times what her salary is just off that alone, So there's part of their money. Then remember that guy you said, or I can't remember who you learned it from, about that fund that gets taxpayer funded, that when people sue the government, the lawyers can get paid from. Remember we were talking about that? I bet you how many of them lawyers or them senators and them Congress people, because they are lawyers, most of them, how many of those lawsuits are they wrapped up in where they're suing the government? I mean, basically suing themselves, right? How much money are they getting off shit like that too?
There's the United States government has a pot of money, a kitty of money for to sue the government for representation, provided you don't meet a certain threshold of monies. If you're a broke bitch, you're going to get a lawyer. You're going to get a good one too, because the money's there.
Mm-hmm.
B.
Can somebody send me the address where to write for that?
To sue the government.
Nah,
but
B,
that's
you
the
make
problem.
too
That
much.
look at a lot of places where laws are changing about immigration, like California, one of the biggest ones. The people the immigrants that have been here 30, 40 years, they've been working in fields out there, growing the fruits and the whatever else they grow out there, nuts and grains and all that, right? Can't get no fucking help, can't get an ID, get their paperwork processed, but you get someone coming in now and they're handed just all kinds of stuff, gateways into getting an ID, a state issued ID or whatever. They're just handing it to them. It brings a lot of resentment. So there's another part of what happens when everybody gets in a crowd like this. That resentment, that anger boils up, and I think all these so-called little things like we had this past weekend, every holiday weekend, every major weekend, you're gonna have something like this going forward.
It's a funny sort of thing when you think about it. Old illegal aliens getting into a fight with new illegal aliens.
Yeah, it's happening, man. It's happening right now.
Hey, but the ones that start the fight, they'll turn out to
Yeah.
be Republicans.
Yeah, yeah. And that's
There's
where a lot of them are
there's a
voting
lot
now.
of there's a lot of immigrant Republicans. You know, I've
We'll
seen
see.
quite a few news articles and watched news articles of these people coming in and they spend a lot of money to come here. That's what I don't understand the most is why they gotta spend up to $10,000 to become legal here in this fucking country. Okay, because it's just another thing that a law firm, anybody can do to make money. You know what I mean? Oh, the paperwork is this and the paperwork, $3,000. I gotta fucking send this letter
Yes.
to this department. You know what I mean? Come on, man. It's insane. And then don't think that some of these people are like, well, I wish I was in this fucking line right now. You know what I mean? Boom, I'm in. I'm in the United States now, right? I mean, is that what we're talking about here? I mean, Jesus.
Who knows what you're talking about, Blake?
It would
Oh,
seem
I
that
do,
America,
Donnie. That's all that matters is I do.
Okay.
it would seem that America is one big Las Vegas. Everything is money. And that's all it
Yes.
boils down to.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
world.
The world now.
No, what
I mean,
what
that's
just,
obvious.
What just
Go
makes
ahead.
me thank you, Blaze. What makes me sad, man, is how these people just come here and do these chants to death to America. Death. I take that personally, man.
Yeah.
No,
there's no crickets for me.
Death
I'm
to
just trying to
America.
find the right words, because we've been a little bit tough tonight. So, but
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
it's
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, you keep
We
keep
got
saying,
content, Blaze.
You keep
We
saying
got content,
death to
Blaze.
America, death to this, death to that, and they're being allowed to keep walking the streets.
Well,
you're not going to put a stop to it.
Didn't the Senate or Congress have some kind of vote today that they can't say or wear any kind of T-shirts or anything to that where it says from the river to the sea on it or some shit? You guys see that in the news?
Yes,
Today?
unless you're in Disneyland.
No, I'm not in Disneyland. Yeah, it was a Senate or something.
Yeah, they're trying to invent, and now they're trying to go back to their dress code stuff. Blah blah blah. Whatever, man.
No,
You guys have been up there
more than
sitting up there.
It's more than that, bro. Anyways, they voted on it, so let's see. Senate Rick Scott, Tom Cotton.
Oh, that was for Mayorkas. They walked the impeachment to the Senate. Now we got to see what Schumer is going to do, and he's probably just going to sit on it and do some bullshit.
Right.
Oh, they better.
Okay. Right. What was it? Kennedy, Cotton, and introduced to the Senate the resolution to condemn it, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's another great American.
How they gonna take Mayorkas and impeach him when you didn't even give him the resources to deal with what he was dealing with? The problem. See, Mayorkas is just all them people, our congressional leadership and our White House leadership. They're just looking for a scapegoat, and that dude's going to be the scapegoat.
Right.
Just for somebody to blame on the bullshit they caused. That's all this is, and that's sad. That's how pathetic our political leadership is. But they learned great from Daddy Trump when he was in office because he kind of did the same shit at times. So.
Right. That's the stuff that used to drive me nuts. You know what I mean? But go ahead, D.
Fuck Daddy Trump. I hope he makes it. I really do. But oh shit, Blaze. I'm sorry.
We're gonna take a break anyway.
Get somebody else.
So, ladies and gentlemen, stick around for more of The Way We See It right here on the FFN network. If you want to give us a call, man. 508-974-4231. Tell them, B.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Way We See It with yours truly, Blaze Man, Mr. Donald on my right, and below me is the father of the Brady Bunch, Mr. D, and here he is running back from the toilet. Stand up, boy. Let's see if you got any toilet paper hanging back there.
TMI.
Oh,
No.
no toilet paper, no TMI hanging back there. Thank you, brother.
There was a brown stripe there.
What you talking about, Lou? What you talking about, Lou?
You know what I mean? I only get up there because that's one of Mr. D's favorite sayings. But anyways, I got to put everybody back in order. There we go. So we were talking about, let's look at this. Let's look at what I think this is Iranian TV. And I think they're talking about like how powerful their weapon systems are. So let's take a quick watch of it. All right, cool.
Of course they're gonna say they got all this stuff, but
Well, I'm not disagreeing, but folks here that are watching don't know.
The world has become more interconnected and complex. Security threats are becoming increasingly sophisticated. And therefore, various nations are strengthening their defense technologies. Iran is one of them. The country has taken another big step in what it calls defense preparedness. It has launched its first hypersonic missile.
Ladies and gentlemen, just before we continue, B, here you go, man. All right, this is what the Iranians got to offer. Okay. All right, I specifically searched this out for you. Okay, pal.
Okay.
All right, buddy.
قادر هستیم در فاصله 1400 کیلومتری
At a distance of 1,400 kilometers, we can accurately hit any target we want, and no anti-missile system can deal with it.
Codenamed Fatah, the missile was unveiled by the Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi. Top commanders of Iran's elite force were also present at the ceremony.
در کشور ما این دانش و علم
This knowledge and science and defense, as well as missile and military industries, have been indigenous in our country. It's not an imported technology, so threats cannot remove this advanced knowledge and industry.
So what makes this missile so special? Well, it boasts a range of 1,400 kilometers. The hypersonic missile can move at a massive speed of up to Mach 15 before hitting its target. That's around 15 times the speed of sound. The missile features a movable secondary nozzle that allows for high maneuverability. Iran says it has the ability to penetrate any defense system. According to Iranian state media, the Fatah missile is designed to target advanced anti-missile systems, representing a significant leap forward in the defense technology. There are claims that the Fatah can bypass Israel's Iron Dome and the most advanced anti-ballistic missile systems of the United States. It can even fly on a complex trajectory, which makes it difficult to intercept. A pertinent question here is, what does this mean for the international community? Iran's hypersonic missile has caught the attention of Western nations, and this development is likely to heighten Western concerns about Tehran's missile capabilities.
Look it, man. I don't know about any of you cats, but I'm a little bit scared of Iran right now. That's all I want to say about that. B, you want to comment?
Of course, you should take all sorts of things, all sorts of things very seriously and so forth. But
they got a super hypersonic fucking missile. They said it can penetrate the Iron Dome of Israel, bro.
All that means is it can crash that much faster just after launch.
Right. So, D, if you was back in the military and you was being briefed on this new hypersonic technology that the Iranians possess right now, what do you think the room atmosphere would be like after seeing such a video of a terrifying supersonic 15 times the speed of light type of missile that the Iranians possess?
Man, that video is just propaganda, man.
Right.
That's all it is. My first question would be, are they like floating bathtubs like Saddam Hussein threw at us?
Right. Well, the Scud missile was kind of effective, right? Because at the time, it was a mobile unit,
We called it, them missiles were like floating bathtubs, bro. They shot them and they didn't know where the fuck they were going. And it's just like the missiles, the junk Iran sent.
Okay, see, now that's that's talk worthy for the viewers. Go ahead, man. That's interesting.
No, what Miss Hartford said, and she's totally right. A good EMP signal hit on them launchers, the missiles ain't going nowhere.
Right. So okay. So I agree with the commenter with the EMP, right? So how do you think we would go about doing that, B?
I wanted to, interrupt this for a very important point. Something
We
that
got
needs
breaking
to be
news?
discussed. One of the things that it seems like nobody has been wanting to talk about was the report that when it first came out that Iran had launched all of these missiles and drones and so forth. At the cabinet briefing, apparently, some member of the military who was briefing the president and the crew about all these things was trembling as he was talking. And this is what we have for at the head of our top staff leadership.
Who was trembling?
Did anybody pick up or hear that when they first were talking about all this?
Oh, that's somebody probably running their mouth about some bullshit. It's
No,
somebody
this
trembling
was
or
on
whatever.
Fox. This was on Fox News.
All
Yeah,
right,
okay.
link me.
And it
Somebody
said
did
that
talk about
when
some
the
bullshit.
You
fellow,
gotta link me, B. You know we don't just go by. Oh, I heard this. You know,
yeah,
we always.
we have some fellow who's in a uniform somewhere in a cabinet meeting briefing the president, and he's trembling because he didn't realize that they were going to launch so large an attack. They thought maybe it was going to be maybe 10 or 15 rockets, but he was trembling. They say.
Whatever.
Trembling. I
Whatever.
don't know. What do you
I
think,
don't.
Donnie?
Who was this
I
individual?
don't know. I don't remember what his name was. He was some high-ranking member of. I don't know if it was the chiefs of staff or what. I don't know.
If they're trying to say
Somebody
he's
in
a
a
joint chief of
somebody
staff,
in
it's
a
bullshit.
somebody in the bottom of a bottom of cheap bourbon, wearing a uniform.
Nah.
The bourbon makes the
I
uniform.
suppose.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give you that one.
Whatever. Blow that shit off. If Iran has this technology, then what they did earlier is just just like China, North Korea. They're doing all their weapons tests. They're doing their launches. They're just testing shit to see how far they can push the limits. They're gonna see where they can attack later.
You know what was good about this attack? If there's anything to be good, it showed Israel who supports them. It really does. And all these other nations, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, I didn't know Lebanon was that messed up. I knew Syria was, and Egypt. They're all tired of the IRGC. They're not tired of the Iran people. It's that organization, the IRGC. Everybody says Iran people are good until they come over here and protest on bridges. Did I just say that?
Well, they say that about everybody from every nation. Oh, there's good people there until they come and they do something dumb or they protest and they cause a scene. They break the law. They don't even try to fit into the way we live here. They want everything brought to their standard, right?
The key word I threw in the box. The key word I threw in the box was assimilate. Right. Assimilate to not culture. This country's got full of culture. It's got plenty of that. We can use more, but you got to assimilate to the laws and regulations of this great country.
I agree, D. 100% on that one. Right? You deserve that one,
Thank you, Blaze.
You deserve that one. You deserve that one.
No, but getting back, this hypersonic missile, I had to Google Fata. I had to see what that was. That's an Egyptian food dish.
I know.
They named their missiles after food.
Shit, no
They've got a bigger one. It's a motherfucker.
Oh. But listen, no,
that's a $2 tip
I put
jar.
the video up as a joke, with B, because he was wondering how, I was like, dude, they probably got better shit. And then when I seen that, I'm like, I gotta play that, So yeah, it was basically built off a joke. But I do want to stay with this, the protesting here in the United States, and I just don't think, especially when it comes to college students. And Donnie, you haven't said shit in a while, bro. So you're coming up next, right?
But the protests aren't going anywhere. Stop doing them.
Well,
you ain't getting shit done. But stop wasting your time.
I forget who said it here on a panel, and I apologize, but I agree with that person 100% that Soros is going to start to get behind this. And he's going to work it just like he worked the Black Lives Matter movement, and still, helps them get donations. Anyways, but again, yeah. So it's not going to go away, Donnie. And I think it was D that said that, right? And I don't think I think it's going to escalate. I think it's going to escalate, and God forbid, one of these radicals, they send somebody here to get in one of these crowds, I mean, look, and it doesn't have to be C4. He doesn't even have to get tracked shit like that. You know, he could just buy 3 or 4 sticks of dynamite. And if he's in a crowd, if he, 1 second, if he's in a crowd like this, guys, if he is in a crowd or she is in a crowd, help me out.
Hundreds, thousands can be taken out.
And let's say 2 sticks of dynamite. Okay. What's happening to these people right here? And that he or she is in the middle of this crowd, man.
Ways, I got case in point for you. The Boston Marathon bombers. They were a Muslim background, and they go and they did the stupid pressure cooker thing.
Right.
And look what it destroyed there. Now you're talking C4 without just a straight blast.
But I'm saying if he was to make it easier, because C4 they could probably track that quicker than going to buy some dynamite. You know what I mean? A couple of sticks of dynamite. That's wiping out 60, 70 people. I'm talking about dead 60, 70 people. No. Anybody? B, come on.
Dead with 2 sticks of dynamite, you're probably looking at a good somewhere between 20 to 30, with at least maybe times 2 that of injured.
Okay, I agree.
Right. And Tamerlan and Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, or however the hell they say the last name, Tsarnaev.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they took out people with pressure cookers.
We just say it. But okay, let's check this video out.
Okay. Oh,
Donnie, go. Whoa.
You want to know what's worse? What's worse is when they put 5-pound bags of nails on top of their flak jacket and their bomb, so all them nails go out and become projectiles.
Right.
Because that's what kind of shit comes out of that stuff too. So
right.
That count's going to be a lot higher than that, man.
Yeah. Go ahead,
please. No, I know you want to go to the video. I just want to say one thing, and again, how quickly we forgot October 7th.
Not me.
That's it. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, because they made it. Now it's beyond that for everybody else. Now, D, I hate to say that, but it is. I won't forget it because it will, at some point during that day, it's going to pop in my head because it happened on my birthday. I was laying in bed, 7 o'clock in the morning. I get up, I'm drinking my coffee. My wife wakes up, get a kiss. She gives me my coffee. Happy birthday, baby. And I got the Fox News on. I'm like, what the fuck? So, and I looked right at her too, and I said, well, babe, I'm probably not going to forget this day, and it's sad. And I'm not laughing because of what happened, so don't get all screwed up, folks. I'm just laughing at the way it played out, but yeah, my birthday. And D, you're absolutely right, bro. Come in.
Oh,
I heard knocking.
Yeah, it's a video.
I'm
that
putting it
team
on
is
right
on
now.
the table.
That's D Morse code. Let's take a listen, folks.
Sorry,
it's cool. Don't worry about it.
Hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters today blocked traffic on New York's Brooklyn Bridge with several arrests.
Oh, good.
Police say protesters near Chicago's O'Hare International Airport today substantially delayed travelers. And on San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge, multiple arrests after protesters snarled traffic there for hours. The demonstrations come as President
I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. D, and I think you was trying to correct me too, and I was like, and you just let it go. I said that there was no arrest made in San Francisco, and I apologize because that was wrong. So I'll continue the video.
After protesters snarled traffic there for hours. The demonstrations come as President Biden touts what he calls an unprecedented military effort to defend Israel.
Together with our partners, we defeated that attack.
In the Oval Office today, he met with Iraq's prime minister as he tries to de-escalate tensions in the Middle East.
We're committed to a ceasefire that will bring the hostages home and prevent any conflict from spreading beyond what it already has.
The president spoke with Prime Minister Netanyahu this weekend following Iran's attack, urging restraint. A senior administration official tells NBC News the president told Netanyahu to take the win and that all.
I would be very surprised, okay, if Israel doesn't attack Iran. And not only we shouldn't forget October 7th, okay, we shouldn't forget that there's still hostages there. Okay, there are still hostages being taken. I believe still what is the number? D. That's
133.
133 still out there. Yeah.
Yep. That's the last number I heard. And I believe there's still a couple Americans there.
Yeah. B.
You may remember at the very beginning of this thing, I said that the hostages should just be more and more looking exactly.
All right, B is going to end up bouncing out on us.
I'm not bouncing on you. Okay, no. I'm telling you here and now. They've already come out. This is one of the reasons why they've again walked away from these from the talks for the ceasefire. So they keep demanding release of hostages that they don't even know where they are anymore, whether they're alive or dead, or they've been moved off the places they can't return them or whatever. They don't have access to these people. I firmly believe that these people that they're trying to get released are dead. And we have something going on in the back.
Yeah, that's D. His mic is picking up the background noise. Go ahead.
All right. Well, yeah, I firmly believe that the vast majority of these hostages are dead. They've probably been in for a very long time. And again, you're breaking your own rules about not dealing with terrorists. And what are they doing? They're dealing with terrorists. 508-974-4231. Somebody pick up the phone, call me, tell me I'm wrong.
Agree. Donnie?
No, I hate Mr. B's. I agree with him 100%. I don't think there's any hostages left to, capture, not capture, but, get back.
Rescue.
I don't think there's nobody there. That place has been demolished, and we gave up on talking to terrorists when we, let's talk and negotiated with the Taliban in Afghanistan. So it's just a playbook now. They know it's part of the playbook. Do certain things, you'll get the U.S. to start talking to you, and you'll get a ceasefire, and then you can, regroup and go fuck with them again in 3 or 4 more years. Regroup, go fuck with them some more.
Right.
That's just going to be the cycle.
Right. D.
Yes, sir, Blaze. And let's not forget Joe Biden is the one that I think it was $180 billion that he released to them from their oil profits and reserves. What do you think he built? What do you think them guys built the fodder from? From that money. Is it going to the Iranian people? No, it's not. It's going to the IGRC again. And when not only United States, but when is these Arab nations going to come together and just do a coalition and wipe Iran out, just like we did Iraq in the first Gulf War? We took, I think it was 750,000 American and foreign soldiers in Saudi Arabia. That broke the big Muslim law.
I remember that did, yeah.
But but no, it was cool because we were going to retrieve Kuwait back to its proper owner.
Yeah, that was the whole plan.
But getting back to Donnie's statements in the past, and he's right. We just need to get the fuck out of there and let them police themselves. And I yield back my time.
Donnie?
Thank you.
I think Demas is right, but I think with the whole Arab nations getting together, but you're starting to see that now that Iran is fired over Syria and in Jordan, and some of these people that are like, hey, we got nothing to do with this for all these years, right? Now you put them at risk when you fired over their nation. So I agree with you, Demas. At some point, the Iranian, Revolutionary Guard something's going to break, and there's going to be some people that are going to be like, nope, we're not doing it. So I just don't know how that comes about. I don't see it coming about unless Israel or Iran or Hezbollah, one of their proxies, go off and do something stupid and say another country like Jordan or Syria or, Lebanon, somewhere different, they do something stupid and they, piss off the wrong individuals or something, and that's the way Iran comes down.
Right. Agree, man. That was good, Donnie. It was good, brother.
Yes, sir. Wow, that's sad. I know how to properly spell Hezbollah.
What's sad about that, bro? You can spell.
I never cared in my life to learn that name or what it attests to, And it's just it comes on our radar now, Hezbollah, Hamas.
I think the first time I ever heard of the country Saudi Arabia was when I was in 4th grade with Jay and Jeff's sister, D. I was in 4th grade with her. And Jamie, thank you. And
she was hot.
That's nice.
I was in 4th grade with her. And her dad at the time, he worked for a company in Saudi Arabia. And the company printed like these things that were like book size, but it was all like Disney characters in it and all that stuff like that. And it's like, oh, look what my father's company can do, and it was cool. Fucking 4th grade, anyways, that was the first time I ever heard of the word Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? But go B, you seem like you are ready to
I do remember hearing of Saudi Arabia when I was a young child as well, and so forth. I remember watching the movie Lawrence of Arabia, and all sorts of references, and books about Arabian Nights and this sort of thing, and white feathers, and also all kinds of.
B, you sound angry.
I'm not. I'm just.
Can somebody call in
through.
and calm Mr. B down at 508-974-4231? Again, someone call in and calm
make
down
me cookies,
Mr.
damn it. I can use
B
some cookies.
at 508-974-4231.
Or too sweet because I got.
Okay, I got a question for y'all. Here's a question for you.
Okay.
You get your protest. It's all said and done. They do a ceasefire. What's your next step? What's the next step? Because Israel's not going to agree to any kind of Palestinian state. They're not going to do that. They're like, to hell with this shit. We were trying to do it before and it's never worked. You've always been fighting. What is going to be the outcome that's going to appease everybody? Because I don't see one. I don't see one other than Israel saying, we're taking this shit over, and now if you live within our borders, you follow these rules. That's the only thing I could see coming out of this, and it ends.
Right.
Condos at Lake George.
Right.
What's option B? And then what happens in a few more years when we don't like the setup now? We go through this shit again? Because, like I say, we're on a little bit of a continuous cycle here.
Yeah. Let's finish this out.
Following Iran's attack, urging restraint, a senior administration official tells NBC News the president told Netanyahu to take the win, and that although the White House's commitment to defend Israel is ironclad, the U.S. would not participate in offensive operations against Iran.
To ask it bluntly, if Israel retaliates against Iran, will the U.S. support that?
To answer bluntly, I'm not going to get into hypotheticals. We don't want to see a wider conflict.
Today, the White House stressed Iran did not provide warnings to the U.S. about its time frame for launching an attack on Israel. Some Republican critics argue the Biden administration has emboldened Iran.
It's time for the commander-in-chief to lead allies and partners in an international effort to impose meaningful costs on Iran.
And Gabe, amid all this, there are new questions about that U.S. aid package for Israel. What can you tell us?
Yes, Lester, House Speaker Mike Johnson is facing intense pressure to bring Israel and Ukraine funding up for a vote after sitting on it for months. Well, late today, he told GOP lawmakers that he planned to do it this week in separate bills. Lester?
48 hours after Iran attacked Israel with...
Why? Sorry.
Why?
No, that's just.
Go ahead. Go ahead, D.
No, when you cut off the commercial, that air raid siren, that that's.
Yeah, I got you. All right, we got
a throwback.
Right, we gotta take a quick break. Hey, Ann or Charlie or Chat, come on, give us a call in the last half hour here for the way we see it at 508-974-4231, and we'll be right back in about 3 minutes. Stick around for more of the way we see it right here on the FFN network. Oh shit, babe, it's gonna show you.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree.
Bird is a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky.
My wife coming up on me, giving me back rub.
That was nice. That was nice to see her.
Yeah, it was nice. Good to see her.
You know,
we said
it
hello.
started feeling good, and I was like trying to hit the button, and I hit the wrong button. He said, "Oh shit, babe, we're gonna be alive in a second."
Yeah, man. Yeah, hey, that's good for you, Blazer, man. You got to keep that quiet, man. You're gonna mess around and pop off one time, and we're gonna think we don't need to do it, man. Gotta tell him to calm down.
Yeah, man, got some viewership finally. Yeah, all right, there you go.
See you later, man. Damn, bro. No.
Yeah, hey B, you're laughing, bro. Well, you're not laughing. I was laughing, but yeah, you're right. You're right. That pot would go viral. You know what I mean? Fuck the rest of the show, right? People would be curious for a little while, right? Until they realize that we're a political show, and they'll be like, "Oh shit," you know. Anyhow, where were we?
Making politics sexy since 2024.
Hey, has anybody? I'd like to jump into this. You know what I mean? It would take care of the rest of the half hour. And thanks everybody for sticking around. With the way we see it on the FFN network. Donald, go ahead, buddy.
I just wanted to point out something real fast with that video. McConnell was talking about it's time for the commander in chief to do, international forces and lead with international forces. That kind of rhetoric, that kind of talk, that tells me maybe he's got some support for declaring war from some people. And there's some people out there with some crazy ass notion that we need to put more American troops involved in this shit. That's kind of scary right there. Either way you think about it.
We did start talking about that like a little bit, and then we got away from it. But you think that's possible, Donald?
With the way he talked about calling for Joe Biden and the basically saying commander in chief lead an international force. He's basically saying it's time for America to lead an international force and deal with this shit.
Again, in the Middle East.
It tells me that's what those kind of words tell me.
Right. So if that was if that was possible, so that would be the third time that we had to attack someone in that region. I know both times were for Saddam Hussein, but still, and Afghanistan,
That was for ISIS.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, our troops been out there. It's been the longest war since Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's
And
I don't know,
but
no,
look
it is. It's
look,
crazy,
no,
man.
look what we did with the Gulf War. Bush brought in 39 countries. 39. A lot of them are Muslims too.
Yeah.
I don't care to list them all, but I was just like,
Bush 1 or Bush 2, D? I'm sorry.
Bush 1.
Okay. Yeah, he had an actual coalition, but go ahead.
Yes, and I think that's what Donnie was reiterating to was
Right.
that, hey, what's his name, McConnell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we boring you, B?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Oh man. Damn, bro.
Hey, B, talk to me.
Y'all boys have got to remember we are live, man. We don't go and cut this
I don't
shit
think
out.
we're the ones that need to remember that, buddy.
We don't cut nothing out. I know, Donnie. I know. You just
But
made
no,
your point about 2 minutes ago. You fuck. But go ahead.
Oh, now I'm one of those. All right.
No. B, go, bro.
Well, no, I you guys are boring the hell out of me.
Well, we wanted to wake you up, so go ahead, speak your mind now.
You want to wake me up? Bring your wife back out and start going to that massage.
Do you think I ran B? I got a question for you. B, because I get his ass whooped back up again. God damn it. Listen, we're going to take donate. Baby, we're going to talk business for next Tuesday show. But go ahead, you son of a bitch. Go.
If they're talking about saying that they might be getting some support for getting a coalition together and going into war, I don't see that. I really don't see what that discussion was about. But if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. But I personally don't see it.
Don't get me wrong, Mr. B. I don't see a reason for it to exist, to come about. No, we don't need a coalition. But I like what Demas's idea of some of these Arab nations policing your own, coming in, those in the region coming around.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The verbiage, what I don't like that verbiage, because there's no sense for any boots on ground for American troops to be, or military to be boots on ground over in that region anymore. There's just no reason.
They don't want us.
Agree. Well, it's not so much as they don't want us. It's just I agree with Donnie. We don't fucking, just get out of there. Let them police their own region. D.
I believe some of the missiles were shot down by a United States Patriot battery.
Yes.
Not an Israeli, a U.S. based unit.
Yes, Northern Iraq. At Erbil, Northern Iraq.
Yeah.
Kurdish area.
And what in that video that we watched? Go ahead.
And I just want to educate the folks too why the Patriot is up there. And Donnie brought up a key point: the Kurdish area. You notice the soldiers ain't in the Shiite or the Sunni areas of Iraq. they're in the Kurdish area.
Right.
The Kurds love us, even though we fucked them. And I can't remember the date, but it'll come to me here.
Safety.
Yeah, I just know it's, I just wanted to hump on that, Donnie. Maybe educate somebody out there. That's all.
There you go. You educated me. I wasn't familiar with that. But so okay, Donnie overhears an article, read an article, or you watched a video, don't matter. You read it or watched it. And I mean, do you think that Russia and China would start sending, well, mostly China, start sending Iran weapons if Israel, let's leave us out of it for a second. So if Israel counterattacks, because the way it's being talked about, it's like fucking Iran when they fired all the missiles and everything, right? And I apologize, I don't have the video. I watched it. You know what I mean?
That's
I have
all right.
kid.
Go on, man.
The whole point is that the U.S. is like mad at Iran. Said, why didn't you warn us you was going to fire the missiles at Israel? And why would they do something like that? You know what I mean? Why would they warn the United States? I mean, I know General Milley warned the Chinese when he thought Trump was going to, attack them or something. Everybody remember that?
No, but
Trump was going to attack Chinese? Come on.
No, they, something, they broadcast that attack to the United States, probably on a telephone call with the SecDef, because they know where their money source comes from.
B?
Why?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I think the old guys are starting to fall asleep over here a little bit. Go ahead, Donnie.
What? China's already said they'll still supply them. They'll still supply Iran and all that. Are they gonna I think they're playing the U.S. card. What I was understanding right now in a little article. Hey, we'll help supply what you need, but we're not gonna physically get involved. No, that ain't gonna happen. They have no interest there.
Well, again, nobody. Go ahead, D. I'm sorry. Good.
Go, Blaze. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
I'll go after you. I'll go after you.
You don't think that China and Russia, I mean, they'll aid Iran, but is there anybody else out there in the region that would fight with Iran? Well, the Houthis doing those little pockets of terror groups that they got going on. Can anybody would who's stepping up to the plate again? Go ahead, D.
Who would be a big concern? Would be a big concern to them would be the country of Turkey. I think Erdogan, I think he would definitely put his foot down and say enough's enough, or we're going to attack you. That is my only concern in that area, is which Turkey's going to flow.
What about the Lebanese?
Oh, they're trash, man. They're trash. There's no government in place. It's run by a bunch of military groups, especially Hezbollah down in the south. But I want to get back to that Fata missile, and we were talking about Chinese and Russia. I'm wondering if China gave that technology to Iran to build that missile.
Don't discount the fact that a lot of Iranians come over here and go and study in our colleges like MIT, Texas A&M, and so forth, and take home and take back with them all of the technology that they learn about.
Donnie made a comment about Pakistan, and you're 100% right. And Pakistan, they're the only, I think, Muslim country that has nukes. Turkey has nukes, but the United States nukes, they're planted in Turkey.
Yeah, they don't have operational control.
Right.
No.
Yeah,
no.
right.
Exactly.
Pakistan has some nukes, though.
Man,
Oh, I had a good question, but go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Blaze.
Maybe this will make B wake up a little bit. So, we had to take out our nuclear missiles out of Turkey when we made that deal with Russia back in the 13 days. When Russia was having their nuclear
back in the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yes, go ahead, B.
What about it?
Go ahead, tell us
that
about
was
it.
that was part of the negotiated thing between the United States and the Russians that we were going to denuclearize certain areas and so forth.
No, well, part of the deal was taking our nuclear capabilities out of Turkey. At the time, it was like, oh, they were obsolete anyways. Okay, yeah, because the reason why I brought that up is the fact that I guess we found a way to put back our nuclear weapons back in Turkey. You know, does anybody know when we did that? No.
I believe it was back when Putin came to power.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a treaty.
Yeah.
And I remember being in Germany. Give me a minute. I'll tell you the dates. Late 90s, mid 90s, mid 90s. We had to open all our sheds, containers, anything that had a threshold of a certain amount that we could hide a missile. And I remember a Russian delegation coming through and inspecting.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I can't remember what treaty it fell under. But shit, dude, back in the after World War II, when the army was in Germany for a good 50 years, we had nukes all up and down the Autobahn, pointed in one direction, nuclear. And then we also had what was called a special weapons section, where they would assemble the nuke round to shoot out of a howitzer, 8-inch or 155. Yeah, they were there.
Kidding.
Wow.
No kidding. Nuke tips, huh? Nuke tips, huh?
Yeah.
So would that be like a tactical nuclear?
Yes.
What would the radius or something like that be? Like a full city block, like leveled.
Blaze, they would go in a van, they would close the door, drop the shutters, and lock themselves in and practice their skills. It was very secretive. And these guys that were under the special weapons section, they got pissed every month. Every fucking month.
I got you, brother. I got you, man.
So do I think there's still nuclear weapons in Germany? Fuck yeah. And hell yeah.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. But who operates them?
I don't know, Blaze. I don't.
Because I agree. I agree with you. Obviously, we don't know for sure, but we're not going to get into that. But if we do, I don't think that the Germans have control of it, right?
Perhaps we shouldn't be discussing these things.
Why not?
It's public domain data now. Yeah, shit. You Google where are nuclear bombs, and they'll tell you the countries where they're located at and who they belong
that's what
to.
I'm doing right now.
Who has operational control?
Yeah, just what I'm doing right now.
Well, that was part of Putin's problem with when he started bitching about going into Ukraine, and that there's too many Western influence. There was too much, military going on around him to his border. Now he's got another NATO member on his border. That was his big gripe. He got all this weaponry over in Europe.
Yes, Donnie. Good point, bro.
Biden has something else to worry about besides operational control of nuclear weapons. Bowel and bladder control.
Oh, well, the guy's got some problems, Hey, it is what it is, right? At least he wears a good diaper. We don't see anything. I don't know.
He's not going
about that. I mean, we just gotta wait it out and do what we got to do in November. If you want Joe Biden out, you got to go vote him out.
Presidential brand peppers.
Let me talk about Donald J. Trump. That'll wake Mr. B up. Donald Trump said something, man, and he really got it. He got me. He says, when you got incompetency up there in the White House and the election seems so far away, it seems like it's eternity. And damn it, Donald, you hit the nail right on the head. This shit feels like eternity till November.
Yes, it does. It's like, damn it. Can another day go by? Please hurry.
And then Donald started talking to me how he snatched chicks because he was a superstar coming out of the bus, how he grabbed him right by the Johnson. Sorry, B, I had to wake you up.
Donnie, there was tearing your shirt off and stuff. Oh, shoot. Man. I'm telling you, this is what happens when you get a bunch of old guys and start getting tired.
More like retired.
But hey, guys, is anybody, ladies and gentlemen, watching? And I got to tell you, we got a great audience tonight, and I like to thank everybody that is watching right now. We got a great audience going on, guys. We have most of the night. Anyways, Karen Reed. Has anybody read anything or anything to that point? Oh, Karen Reed. I'd like to go over it. I'm sorry, B. I'll just finish up real quick. You can jump in. I'd like to run this little quick video and stuff, and because the show's almost over, but I want to give everybody a teaser because I'd like to cover maybe the first half hour of this Karen Reed thing. This thing is like mad interesting, and they're still selecting a jury. I mean, this woman's got followers, and a lot of people think she's innocent, and it's crazy. They're saying that she's a patsy. They're saying that she is being wrongfully accused. They are saying that the police are covering up, and they're trying to give her the blame, and so why don't we holy shit, wrong thing. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a sec. Guys, if you could cover.
Yes,
so she has anybody watched it? D, could you explain a little bit, please?
So the prosecution is saying that this young lady ran over her boyfriend at 2:30 in the morning by backing up. The dude, I really believe she didn't kill him. And the damage to the gentleman's body does not relate with somebody getting hit, backed up by a car. The dude got beat up. He got beat up in that house by them punk ass cops and that punk ass high school senior, which was also known as a drug dealer there in Canton. And he was pretty good with his fists. And I believe I believe that kid there and the dog killed that cop, and they drug him out and pinned it on Karen Reed. Even this one chick, she Googled how long does a body take to freeze out in the weather, cold weather. No, how long does the body take to die in cold weather? And she spelt how wrong. She spelled the HOJ. Wow. That easy. Yeah, no, that's easy. But why would, that's her name, Jennifer McCabe. She's the wife of one of them cops in that house. Oh, and she's
because the G is right next to the H on the keypad. So, all right, let's listen to a little bit, guys. Let's give everybody a tease because we're going to cover the rest of this next Tuesday on The Way We See It on FFN Network. And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to tune in to Politicking with Mr. B tomorrow from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the FFN Network, followed by i12 GIA, Real Talk with Real People. I'm sure those fellas are got a lot to talk about as far as the Middle East goes. Let's take a listen to this Karen Reed video. We'll talk about it for a couple of minutes. We'll say goodnight to y'all, and then we'll cover this next Tuesday, again, right here on The Way We See It.
Mr. Jackson, is this case going to go to trial? Is this case going to
trial?
Successful the motion.
Karen Reed's pretrial hearings have looked a lot like Johnny Depp's fan-filled crowds at his civil trial. Her supporters always show up to cheer and protest at the courthouse, even in the cold weather.
Every day we see the way the corruption is with the police just framing people, and it's important to be out here no matter how cold we are.
Everybody that is out here in the cold and majority of inside the courtroom is here to support Karen and find justice for John. And the only way to find justice for John is to find the real killers of John O'Keefe.
The case has spilled from the courtroom and onto the streets. It has divided the Massachusetts community into the Free Karen Reed camp and those who believe that she murdered her boyfriend.
This case has divided the town. It has divided the town significantly. Every family is impacted. Every family. And there's ways I can't even tell you.
Last year, crowds in support of Karen Reed protested in front of the Canton police station and at homes and businesses of people they believe are actually responsible for John O'Keefe's murder. In an unusual move, the district attorney, Michael Morrissey, issued a video warning in August 2023.
The harassment of witnesses and the murder prosecution of Karen Reed is absolutely baseless. It should be an outrage to any decent person, and it needs to stop. Innuendo is not evidence. False narratives are not evidence.
In October, Aidan Kearney, a blogger known as Turtle Boy, who has led many of the protests, was charged with intimidating witnesses. Then in March, prosecutors asked the court for a 500-foot buffer zone to keep the protesters away from the courthouse during the trial. Protesters allege the Commonwealth is trying to deny their First Amendment rights. In her ruling, Judge Beverly Cannon recognized the constitutional right of the people to peacefully protest. But she wrote the protesters have shouted at witnesses and confronted family members of the victim.
This will be quick.
And have also taken to displaying materials that may or may not be introduced into evidence. And so, citing Karen Reed's Sixth Amendment right to a fair trial, she ruled that there should be a 200-foot buffer zone and that no one should wear anything related to the case inside the courthouse.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got a few minutes left. So that's the teaser. And I know Mr. D is been following this. So D, we got about 2 minutes, bro, if you want to talk about this a little bit, because you're the one who turned me onto it, but many moons ago, and for some reason it came across my screen the other day, and I'm like, and then I started reading. I'm like, this is crazy. Are they trying? Is she the patsy?
Let him talk.
Huh?
Let D talk.
This is a travesty of justice. All this is a state trooper that was the lead investigator was homeboys with some Canton cops, and he's covering up. But I want to get back to what a protest looks like. And for you FATA people out there, that's what a protest looks like. You're not on the fucking street. You're making a bunch of noise. You're within the parameters, and you're not fucking with nobody. That's the American protest, and I yield. I
agree with that, and I agree. I only been reading about it for like a day and a half or so, and I guess more of the news is more about her, like she couldn't have did this. You know what I mean? There's something about the tail light being broke. There's something about a bite wound on him. Right, D? Correct me if I'm wrong. And that's where D came up, where they beat him up in the house, and the dog bit him, and they dragged him out. And maybe they just beat the shit out of him and just like dragged him out of the house and didn't think that they killed him. You know what I mean? And then maybe went out like an hour later and said, "Oh fuck, he's dead." I don't know. Mr. D has been covering this story a lot longer. Go ahead, bro.
So when she got there in the morning at 5:30, she saw his body, and she made comments like, "Did I do this?" And that Jennifer McCabe, the girl, was there, and she's like, "Yeah, you probably did."
Nah, okay.
Dirty, and the dog is gone. The dog is ashes to ashes, dust to dust. They killed it.
Really?
Yes, the dog is somehow
Yes,
come up
they
missing.
can't.
I remember that part.
Yeah, the dog can't be found. Man, get out of here. And how many people are in Canton, Blaze? 60,000?
Yeah, I wouldn't say about
70?
maybe the same size as Florida. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Well,
Donnie,
but if you what you was just talking about again, we teased them with the video, and I have all of that. I have her. She put up bail, okay, because they charged her with. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't apologize her with murder at first. They charged her with something else in another court. She paid bail to get out. So when she was in front of the bailer and talking in that office, she started saying shit, and he was like, "Look, I'm just trying to tell you this is what happens. You got charged for murder in this court. So now, yeah, you paid bail to get out of there. Sorry, but no, we're locking you back up because now the charges have been to murder." And she started talking about the case a little tiny bit, and we have that on video, and that's a teaser. I'm not going to give too much away. And but yeah, we have that on a video. So tune in next Tuesday for The Way We See It right here on the FFN network. Man, I like to thank my boys very much for doing what they do, showing up on time and getting the job done, and trying to give you folks out there some great content to listen to and have some fun. Everything we do is live, so it's not as good when you go and watch us later. So even though we're available later on after this, but it was great. I like to thank Chet and Charlie and our I want to say one of our super fans. We used to call D super fan when Tammy and I first started the radio show, because he would call, boom, at least on like a Tuesday or a Thursday, because we were on Monday through Friday, right? For 2 hours. Anyhow, that was a great time as well. Okay, and everybody, good night. Peace and love to each and every one of you out there. Go D.
I want to apologize first for that first segment, Blaze. Just want to let the audience know we were grown up like kids, and we sometimes fight like kids. But I just want to make this show just as professional as
I know you do,
Blaze.
brother. I know you do, bro. And
peace and love. Peace and love to everyone.
I appreciate that, Donald.
However we're connecting, like always, thank you. Appreciate it. Good seeing y'all. We'll talk at you. Pop a smoke.
There you go. Go ahead, Rip Brand. Go ahead, Rip Brand Weekend.
He took off.
Later.
Later, Mr. B. I don't know what his ever since he had that first big storm of the year up there, his internet has been shit, because he's been with FFN Network and with us for a long time, over a year it's going to be. And
he's probably on some old copper line. That's why he's not on fiber.
And his wife's pedaling the bike for electricity, so she get tired, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, hey, good night. Look, we're gonna follow the Karen Reed story right here on The Way We See It in the FFN network. So come and see us next Tuesday. We'll finish the video off and we'll talk the hell out of this. Peace and love to each and every one of you out there. Thanks for watching.
just watched an FFN Network production.